Absolutely. I could definitely recall a couple different times when my family has been there for me. To me, a loved one, tends to be my mom and my sisters. When I had my daughter, that's probably one of the scariest times in your life and one of the most exciting times in your life. And, your whole life is going to change when you're having a child. And for some, it could be, really heavy on them, or some you can take it into the positive. And you just never know what, the chemical imbalances and stuff like that can do for you when you're changing and your body's changing and stuff. But I will say that my mom and my sisters were there for me, and some of the different times in my life I've had lots of ups and downs. And it just made a difference for somebody to ask me how I was doing, for somebody to just be there. Sometimes they didn't have to say anything, but them just being there and spending that time with me helped me get through the times of when you feel alone and you don't really know what to say or what's even going through your mind. Sometimes you need a distraction, and sometimes you just need somebody to also just to vent to. And venting is, I think, a big part of life. I think sometimes you just got to get your feelings out, and sometimes you got to hear it personally. You just got to say it out loud. Because even sometimes when you say something in your mind for so long, there's only the solution kind of doesn't even actually get there. But when you actually speak out the problem, you can hear it, and sometimes you can figure it out for yourself once you actually hear it and you say it out loud. It doesn't even take somebody else. But talking is important, communication. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to talk. It's good for you. The most important requirements for me, for my personal well-being, is just spending time with my daughter. That means a lot to me. And I know when I don't get to spend time with her and I'm working, or there's a lot of other things that are taking away from that, I have to personally just make the time to do that so that I can feel okay and I can feel happy with my day and feel happy that I'm doing all of those things for a reason. It's for time with her. Music plays a great role in my mental wellness. I sometimes I turn the music down. Sometimes it's not all about having music playing and the rowdiness. Sometimes you need some peace. But then there are other times where you find the right music, whether it's classical music, you find music from when you're a child, things that made you happy, and that can make you happy in the moment. I feel like they have a lot to do with my mental health. Positive songs, dance songs, those are my kind of thing. I like anything that makes me feel kind of upbeat. I'm Cuban too, so I think Latin and Spanish music, like salsa music, it's always just feels good. It makes me happy. So sometimes you gotta kind of find something new, or sometimes you gotta find something old, bring it on back so it can remind you of the good times. Yeah, it's important to put health and wellness first, I think, considering sometimes we're just always going, and it can be very mentally draining, sometimes to the point where we get crazy anxiety, things like that. And it's in those moments you kind of have to recognize that you have to put yourself first. For me, I like to make sure at least a couple of days of the week that I'm doing things like working out. Water and hydration has a big thing to do with it. I don't think people realize how much hydration and hydrating your body, if you're dehydrated, it's very mentally kind of draining, So it's really important to drink water throughout your day. These are personally things for me that work. Things like family, I put that first, because to me, I think family is very fulfilling. Spending time with my family, doing things that are outdoors, not always being on your phone, all of that stuff can be so draining I just think it just doesn't really give you enough information. It doesn't give you enough of real life. You need tangible things to kind of give you that fulfillment, and fulfillment is within you. It's not within what everybody else is doing. You got to kind of find your own kind of stability.